Hello, my name is Vanessa Yzaguirre and I'm an Equity Advisor with the Human Rights and Equity Office. Today, I am going to give you an overview of the different services that we offer to graduate students at Queen's. At the Human Rights and Equity Office, our goal is to foster an inclusive community that values, respects, and celebrates the dignity and worth of every person, and where all can be their best. We use values such as collaboration, respect, and accountability to guide our actions. The Human Rights and Equity Office encompasses 4 key units: the Human Rights Advisory Services, the Equity Services, the Sexual Violence Prevention and Response, and Accessibility Services. Let's take a look at what each one of these units offers. Let's start with the Human Rights Advisory Services. This unit provides information and confidential advice to students who wish to pursue informal or formal routes of complaint resolution following an incident of harassment or discrimination, based on protections available under the Ontario Human Rights Code. With some exceptions, the service provided by Human Rights Advisors is confidential. An advisor will encourage you to share only limited information in an initial consultation, and then advise you at that time about the limits of confidentiality. The role of the Human Rights Advisor is to help you understand what options are available, what each option is likely to entail, and what are the likely outcomes for each one of those. It is up to you to decide which actions, if any, to take. For individuals who have questions or concerns about human rights at Queen's, a Human Rights Advisor can assist in identifying and articulating concerns, such as discrimination, harassment, or failure to accommodate, for example. Then they would explain relevant Queen's policies and procedures, make referrals where appropriate, and offer options for addressing concerns. There are 17 protected grounds under the Ontario Human Rights Code. If you believe you have faced discrimination or harassment in any of these grounds, you are welcome to make an appointment with an advisor by emailing to hrights@queensu.ca. The Sexual Violence Prevention and Response Unit will provide non-judgmental sexual violence prevention and response support. It is important to know that any student who has experienced or been impacted by sexual violence may access all supports and services on campus, and they should be provided with appropriate academic considerations and accommodations regardless of when or where the sexual violence occurred. Students may disclose sexual violence and access a variety of supports and services without making a formal report, either to a university or to the police. Students who are unsure about next steps and want to ask questions about options can contact Barb Lawton, the Sexual Violence Prevention and Response Coordinator, and set up an appointment. A referral is not necessary. Students are always welcome to bring a support person to any meeting with Barb. Unless there are immediate safety concerns, a referral to Barb's office or an appointment to get more information will not trigger a reporting or investigative process. Barb can explain you about the limits on confidentiality before you share any information about what has happened. Students can meet Barb to ask questions about possible next steps and to receive supports and referrals. Students are not required to share personal details of their experience unless they wish to do so or they wish to file a formal complaint. Let's move on to Equity Services. The mandate for the Equity Services is to work with other units on campus, the Senate Education Equity Committee, and the Council on Employment Equity to ensure that equity is achieved across the university. Equity Services provide leadership, information, and liaison to identify gaps in equity matters and to facilitate the development of new policies, procedures, and programs that remove barriers to equity and ensure greater and equal participation of equity-seeking groups and individuals in the university. Equity Services administer different applications to ensure equity is on top of mind in all areas of university life. For example, the Student Applicant Census and the I-Count Equity Census provide data on demographic representation of student, staff, and faculty. The Diversity and Equity Assessment Planning tool offers a framework for units to develop their EDI strategies, and the Queen's Equity Appointment Process tool tracks the measures that have been taken to attract and recruit members of equity-seeking groups. The Equity Services team includes several people that work with data, multimedia learning strategies, application development, educational tools, and equity advising. You can contact the team by emailing equity@queensu.ca. Now, we will take a look at what work is done by our accessibility services. Accessibility means more than disability. It simply means giving everyone opportunities to participate fully in everyday life, to feel included, welcome, and that they belong. The Accessibility Hub works on improving access for everyone on campus by removing barriers, encouraging accessibility, and promoting the duty to accommodate. This portfolio is run by our Accessibility Coordinator, Andrew Ashby. Andrew is responsible for the coordination of accessibility initiatives throughout the university, including leading students, staff, and faculty on a broad range of campus and community projects that seek to advance accessibility issues that will ensure a coordinated approach to accessibility at Queen's. Accessibility Services leads various accessibility policies and plans and provide accessibility training to students, staff, and faculty. You can visit the Accessibility Hub website at www.queensu.ca/accessibility to find information and resources available. It is important to note that accessibility services work independently from the Queen's Student Accessibility Services in Student Wellness, and they are specifically in charge of documentation, classroom, and exams accommodations. If you are a student with a disability and would like to speak to someone about arranging academic accommodations, please contact QSAS at accessibility.services@queensu.ca. Finally, we would like to highlight the Accessibility of Ontarians with Disabilities Act, or AODA, which is a provincial legislation created in 2005 with the intent of achieving accessibility for Ontarians with disabilities by 2025. Every person who communicates and interacts with persons with disability on behalf of Queen's University must receive and complete all training in the AODA training suite applicable to them. Therefore, faculty, staff, senior administrators, volunteers, student leaders are required to take it. You can access the AODA training suite on our website. The Human Rights and Equity Office also has available online training on a wide range of equity-related issues. You can visit www.queensu.ca/HREO/education to find the latest list of training available. Thanks for listening and welcome to Queen's.